What's up? What's up, man?
Questions?
What's happening, everybody?
What's a day like this week for you emotionally, just to get it started and seeing your players around?
Man, it's exciting. We've been communicating with the players all summer. It's been fantastic to be around them. Everybody's itching and ready to go. So it's exciting.
Is there, I know you have a very short run where you get before this preseason game start. Have you kind of tried to put things into the team, or are there things, changes you want to make, systematic things?
Yeah, the great part about it is our communication with the players has been at a pretty high level throughout the course of the summer. And so for us, our messaging started, a month and a half or whatever ago. And then we've had optional workouts, and, our guys have been great attending the optional workouts, and we've been able to lay a little bit of the foundation during those times. And so we feel like we're not too far behind, at least to the point where we could have been if we wouldn't have been talking to them at all. Oh, what's up, man?
There's some guys here, Brunson, I guess, Anunoby maybe, who have played the best basketball of their career, under previous coach and everything. When you come in, how do you sort of address what they were doing and how to keep that on top of what you're going to add yourself to make sure they're still who they've been the last couple of years?
You always try to look at your guys' strengths whenever you're implementing something, and you try to put them in the best possible position to have success. First, to help the team, but you also have to keep in mind what their individual goals / aspirations are, and especially based on what their talent level is. So trying to mesh that is definitely my job, and I think the way that we play on both ends of the floor will enhance what they do very well.
They had 5 guys that played a lot together last season, and obviously you coming in, you have different approach, different philosophies. Do you have in your mind, are you settled on a starting lineup, or is that something that's going to materialize throughout camp?
Yeah, no, it will materialize throughout camp. I think it's too early to go in and say, hey, this is what's going to happen. The roster, Leon and his group did a fantastic job putting together a talented, deep roster, and so you have to be methodical with your approach when it comes to declaring, okay, hey, these guys are going to start.
Do you have a team identity that you're solving for as you're looking for that starting lineup, or is that something that will emerge as you make those decisions?
Yeah, that will emerge as we make the decisions, but the one thing that we want to make sure we do offensively, we want to play fast with the floor spaced, and not just in the full court, but in the half court too, with a certain cadence though in the half court. And then defensively, we want to be physical. We want people to fill us, and we want to do so without fouling. And so those are two things at the forefront of what I'd like to get accomplished early on with this team.
Mike, when you say you want a team to play fast, how do you start that progress or that progression of taking a team that didn't necessarily have the identity of playing at a high pace to then get in there? Is it simple to say run faster? Do you set it like how do you implement that?
That's the first thing. Tell them run faster. But there are things within what we try to do and what we teach, and for us, the biggest thing is getting to the corners. You gotta have guys that are capable of getting to the corners quickly. If you have guys that can get to the corners, especially guys that can shoot the ball and or make plays like we do on this team, and it doesn't matter who gets to the corners. Our 1, 2, 3, and 4 are going to be interchangeable. Our 5 will pretty much do the same job every time, whether it's a rim run or a trail spot that he'll fill. But if you can get guys to the corner right now, then that's going to flatten the defense, and it's going to start the dominoes to fall with the ability to drive and touch the paint and kick and all those other things. And so emphasizing that while putting a sense of urgency or a sense of importance on getting to the corners is going to be huge. And if our guys embrace that, which I feel they will, that'll start the whole process the right way.
You obviously have a
deep team, even the last season. Is a 9-man 10 with you to settle on how many players you want in your rotation?
You know, if you look at what I've done in the past, it's usually 9.5 to 10 guys. You know, I try to play as many guys as I can, and you know, even when I was in SAC and we had an injury during the course of the season. There was a point in time where, towards the end of the season, there was a point in time where I started a two-way guy in Keon Ellis, and so I'm going to try to play who can help us win, and I'm going to try to give guys an opportunity. So hopefully, with as deep as our roster is, everybody will get an opportunity at some point throughout the course of the season.
Mike, obviously last year there was a ton of success with this group, and the expectation coming into this season are obviously really high. How do you, I know you talked about this some back in July when you got hired, but how do you kind of address that and sort of embrace that as you go into a season where there are pretty high expectations for what you guys are expected to do?
The first thing is I don't know if anybody has any higher expectations than me. I love being in a position where you feel expectations, and you know, to me that means there's something of importance that you're doing and that you enjoy and others enjoy. Our guys, I don't feel they're any different with the little bit of time I've been around them. We know what our job is at hand. It starts tomorrow, and it's one step at a time. It's every day, every practice, every shoot around that's in front of us, we have to attack it with abandon. And if we do, and we embrace what our roles are, we embrace the culture that we're trying to build here, then good things are going to happen. Knowing that we have a target on our backs, and when you do have that on your backs, you got to bring your best every time you step out on the floor, not just during game time.
Is that one of the things that appeal to you about this job? I mean, it is the ultimate challenge. You're at a point in your career, like, not that you weren't ready for challenges before, but this is the ultimate challenge. Did you find that appealing about this job?
100%. I mean, you talk about the knowledge within this city and the passion within this city. You talk about MSG. I mean that's a venue that everybody wants to be in every night of the year if possible. So there are a lot of great things about this opportunity, and when I say the city too, it's Westchester County because I live out there, and I don't want people out in Westchester County getting upset with me because I didn't give you guys a shout out. So it's not just about the city, but oh, you do? Okay, fair enough. Yeah. But now all those things are definitely appealing to taking this job. And then you go back and you look at the job that Leon and his group did. My conversations with Mr. Dolan, all those things make this thing an extremely appealing job.
Can you talk about two things about this job?
I'm sorry. Say one more time. I'm sorry.
Are there one or two things about this team that you've kind of learned in the last couple of months as you kind of started to deep dive what you got and you didn't know before?
That's a great question. Yes, because from the outside looking in, you think that you have a pretty good feel. One of the things I learned is these guys are self-starters and they're pretty hard workers. And so to be around a veteran team, I've been in some situations like this, to see a group that's a self-starter, a self-starting group, is very exciting to be around. And then even though they're a veteran group, they seem hungry to learn. And I don't care how old you are, how young you are, you always have to try to evolve and grow in life. And these guys seem to have that itch to want to do those two things.
Couple more guys.
Can you talk about your staff and the way it was constructed, and it's a mix of veteran and the guys who actually worked with you in the past?
Yeah, again, being around this group as a whole for a short amount of time, I've been very pleased. I think they're extremely diverse. They bring different things to the table. They're really talented. They seem unafraid. They seem like they have a lot of great ideas, and they work together. So everything that we're asking the players to do, from sacrificing, to being connected, to having a competitive spirit, to having a belief in the process and each other, while all of us hold each other accountable. All those things resonate within the guys that I brought together, and I love that about them.
So you're known as a detail-oriented coach, right?
Yeah.
And so, when you're looking at your star players like Jalen and Mikal and Kat, what are you noticing in terms of the dynamic of their leadership style and what you want to try to instill in them under your vision?
Everybody leads different, and I haven't necessarily been around them long enough to see how they truly lead, but you can feel their leadership in their presence. You can feel their leadership in their actions, and so I'm really looking forward to being around them, especially during adverse times, because we're going to hit adversity, and that's when the pressure is on for everybody, but especially for guys that are in the leadership role to step up and help the group get through it. So again, both of those two guys that you mentioned have been tremendous in that area, but there's a lot of time to figure out the different nuances that they have when it comes to leading the group.
All right, we're going to do two more. Fred?
They've used Jalen off the ball a number of different ways over the years, as a screener at times, running on pin downs, flare screens, that kind of stuff. What have you seen from Jalen's off-ball work that you like? What particular types of actions do you think he's particularly good at? And what kind of stuff do you know?
He seems like he's a versatile player, and the biggest thing that I want to do for him is try to get him, as well as everybody else, easy shots. And one of the easiest shots in the game of basketball is a spray three. I'm a big proponent of touching the paint and spraying that basketball for a catch and shoot three. And so within what we do, we're going to try to get him a lot of those situations. On top of that, if you do touch the paint, whether it's on the dribble drive or on a cut, if it's on the dribble drive, when you touch the paint and you get off of it, we want you to keep moving. And again, the little bit that we've seen so far in Jalen during these optional workouts, he seems like he's embraced it. Because you have to be in great condition in order to play this way, but he seems like he's embraced it, and I'm looking forward to seeing if we can continue to try to find ways, especially when we start playing games, that we try to find ways to get him some easy catch and shoot looks, because the ball will be in his hands, especially down the stretch, and so to make the game easier throughout the course of the game is going to be a big thing.
All right, next one. Since we last talked to you, Mikal signed his extension. How important is that for this organization to get that done, and what have been like early conversations with Mikal?
I tell you what, Mikal's been one of the guys that's been in here almost every day, and sometimes he comes in twice a day. Again, to have a guy like Mikal on your roster is unbelievable. Not just because he's a great basketball player and he's versatile, brings a lot of versatility on both ends of the floor, but fantastic human being. So you could tell his mama raised him right, and I'm just looking forward to seeing him get out on the floor and do what he does best offensively and do what he does best defensively. But Leon, again, and his group, to be able to lock him up for the number of years that they did just gives you a comfort level as a head coach, knowing that he's going to be around for a while.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Questions?
First off, good to see you. Secondly, what does an off-season look like for you at your 6 or 7 now, like in comparison with 1 or 2? Obviously, you're a lot busier with other stuff, but what's an off-season look like?
With my say again, sorry.
What's it like in comparison when you first got in the league? What's an off-season look like now? You've been in the league a little bit longer. I know you're a little bit more busy probably in the summers, but.
I mean, it hasn't really changed, obviously. with an addition of a family member, time is a little bit more. There's not a lot of time, but all the workouts and stuff that pretty much stays the same. Obviously, things in the workout change, but I try to keep my work ethic and all that stuff the same. I try to do less and less obligated stuff during the summer and just spend more time with my family and try and enjoy it as much as possible.
Yeah, Mike was talking about there's been communication with players for a while now. How much of that, like learning a new system and stuff, has already taken place?
Yeah, I mean, understanding it is going to, obviously everyone being new to this is going to take some time, but very excited to get to learn more and understand his philosophies and his concepts. And I think once we get started, we're going to get off to the right path.
Jalen, Mike has talked about trying to get some more catch and shoot threes, maybe using the ball a little differently. How have you been kind of preparing for that, studying for that? Has anything changed in terms of watching, kind of that kind of stuff?
I mean, I think one thing I always talk about going into the summer, I don't really necessarily think about or work on one specific aspect of my game. I try and be the most well-rounded player I can be. So obviously adding a little bit more of that into it, but once we get started, we'll see how everything goes. But I'm very open to honestly anything right now because everything's new, and I just want to win. We'll find a way.
Do you enjoy setting a great screen as much as you enjoy taking the charge?
It could be the same. So probably, yeah.
I wanted to ask, what is that balance between, obviously new coaches are going to have their own priorities and stuff like that, but between someone having those and saying like, I want this, this, and this, but also watching you guys for a little bit and seeing how, especially with a little bit more depth to the roster, how stuff looks before kind of coming in with wholesale changes and your all's view of that?
I mean, yeah, we got to obviously be willing to adapt and be willing to change and figure out how we're going to be the best team possible moving forward. If you want to win, you'll do it. It's that simple.
You were obviously very outspoken about this. What was your reaction to the coaching changes and not being there?
Yeah, I think obviously it's sad to see a man I've known for a long time part ways with this organization, but he's meant a lot to me. I've expressed that to him publicly and personally, and but yeah, he's meant a lot to my career up to this point.
The second year in a row, you guys had a really good season and then made a pretty significant change. Last year the trade and then now with the coaching.
Mm-hmm.
What's like for you when you say, okay, I think we were doing pretty well what we had, and then you got to adjust to something that's quite different?
Yeah, well, it's for me, it's my job to go out there and just find a way to help this team win. There's different people in this organization with different jobs and different things they have to do to be able to make this team better, and that's their point of view. So for me, I have to just come in and do my job as best of my abilities.
What are early conversations so far with Mike? What are your takeaways on his philosophy and how you see him changing this group?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. It's a new year. Everything's going to be new, so everything's going to be exciting in the beginning. Just really excited to get this season started. I think I can probably answer some of these questions better once we actually start practicing and getting to know each other a little better.
To your point about your role, Jalen, obviously there's a lot of expectations around this team, and the coaching change obviously is assignment. There's an expectation moving forward from last year. As the leader of the team on the player side, how do you help the group sort of embrace and meet the expectations that are obviously sitting out there for you guys for what could potentially be accomplished this year?
Yeah, we focus on one game at a time. We focus on one day at a time. We don't really worry about the expectations set on us. Now we're gonna have a set of goals, and we're gonna
Speak well, son.
They should have took him too. For the most part, though, I'm not gonna. We're not gonna talk about expectations or what people think that we should accomplish. Just focus on how we can get better every single day and just enjoy our process.
Jalen, your Angelo's made it pretty clear that he wants to up the pace compared to how you guys have played said that a couple of times now. Just what do you think that opens up and how you prepare for what's about to be a fast-paced season for you?
Yeah, I mean, could get us more open looks, easier baskets at the rim, or when we run the floor after stops. But I think the most important thing is when we get stops, we just got to run. So it starts on the defensive end, and us getting out and pushing and making plays to each other. So yeah, I'm just excited for this change.
Jalen, your ankle against the Detroit, get ready for a season where you're probably going to be.
One more time, sorry.
How do you prepare for a season where you're going to be asked to be running up and down the floor? Does it change how you prepare for a different system?
I mean, you get into the best shape you can get in, and then, yeah.
Did you have to deal with your ankle this summer at all, or was everything pretty good? It seemed like it got better after the Detroit series. I mean, at least you made it look that way. Was there any setbacks with that this summer?
No setbacks. I feel great, and hopefully, obviously, nothing comes up after going forward.
Did it take longer this summer to kind of get past the last season that had been, and how you guys kind of captured the season domination and what it was like here in those last couple of weeks this season? But it took a little longer for you and Monica to be able to get past that. Are you ready for this year?
It took me a while. Obviously, you think about it, but it's always good to have short-term memory, to focus on what's going on ahead and figure out how you can be better, and you can learn from the things in the past. But it's definitely not something easy just to get over.
Have there been any surprises so far in your communications with Mike?
No surprises.
Kind of touched on it. How comfortable are you playing off the ball? I mean, you're a guy who's, since college, been the guy with the ball.
Really?
Except maybe not Dallas, right?
Okay.
So I guess how comfortable are you in that situation?
Made it work. I've always been different roles throughout my career, even in college. And when I lock in on a role and figure out how I'm gonna be the best in it, I've done pretty well at it. So I'm trying to keep that trend going.
Are there times?
Last one.
Sorry, go ahead.
Jalen, what was the best thing that happened to you personally this offseason?
Jordan's first birthday. That was her first. Damn, can I finish the question? Yeah, that was it. Jordan's first birthday. No, I'm good. Thanks, guys.
How's everyone doing?
Carl, I guess just reaction to the changes, big changes this summer with coaching and kind of how you see that playing out with the expectations you guys have this year.
You know, it's gonna be a fun year, man. We got a great team. Everyone's coming back, feeling good about themselves. They had a good summer of work, and you know, we're gonna do everything possible to be the best version of ourselves every single night.
Mike Brown has been emphasizing pace and space and ball movement. How do you think that's going to impact your touches for this year, where that's going to be?
I mean, I think for my whole career, I've always shown adjustment. I've always shown my ability to kind of mesh in with the team. So I'm not worried about that as long as it gets wins. That's all I care about.
You're obviously from the area, Karl.
Mm-hmm.
You know the expectations that come with this season and what you guys are expected to do after last year. So as one of the leaders of the team, how do you kind of help everybody embrace what, you know, is certainly seen as the potential for what you guys can do this season?
I mean, I think last year showed us that, you know, we could do anything possible with our minds, and we've made the sacrifices, and we've shown the world that we're willing to sacrifice for the betterment of the team. So I expect nothing less than that this year. I feel our team is going to be even more unified. It's going to have more continuity. A whole year together with an off season obviously is going to give us a better understanding of each other, and we understand the opportunity that's in front of us. So we just got to go out there every single day, find ways to get better every single night, and give our best version to our fans every single night.
How big
to what it could potentially look like this time around? Are you expecting it to be similar, or expecting it to be completely different? What's your expectation?
What do you mean, like as in?
As in like schemes and schematics and just what you guys are expecting?
You know, I don't know truthfully yet, but I know I'm a lights out shooter, but damn. But you know, I know just for us, we just gonna go out there. I can't speak on that yet because I truly don't know. But what I can say is that I know our team is unified and our team has the continuity needed to achieve great things. And we showed that last year, and we're gonna build off of that from last year to this year, and you know, just put our best foot forward this year.
Karl, you've been through plenty of coaching changes in your career, just natural course of the business. Is there anything you think of specifically that you can talk to even some of the younger players about helping with the adjustment and locking it from day one?
I mean, yeah, just focus on the job. You know, the business will business. So just go in there every single day, work on yourself, be the best version of yourself so that you could be the best teammate or the best player for us possible, and just consistently put the work in, regardless of the situation. You know, you got to put the work in so you can be the best version of yourself.
This time last year, you were going through a pretty dramatic change. You were just literally, I think, showing up here the day of media day. What's the difference been like for you now, going through a full season, your first full season in New York, and coming in with that continuity for yourself too?
I've been used to change in my career, so like previous question, a ton of coaching changes and just different situations playing out. So for me, it's just been the same off season like always. You know, work on myself, get myself better, put myself in the best position possible so I could be the best for our fans and for my teammates and my brothers. So just another great off season of work, and I can't wait to start playing.
I can ask one. Karl, Mike has already talked a little bit about the idea of wanting to see different looks for Jalen, maybe to have him off the ball a little bit more. Obviously, for you guys to play with more pace. What, in your mind, like, what is your thought process when Jalen has the ball versus when he doesn't, in terms of what stuff looks like for you guys? What your role is? I imagine you have the ball a lot more when Jalen does not. What does stuff look like for you in your offense when Jalen's off the ball?
Now or last year? I'm trying to answer. I want to answer the question.
And maybe what you're anticipating it might look like based on what Mike is saying.
I mean, you know, JB's one of the best point guards in the NBA, so of course, you know, when he has the ball in his hand, everyone takes notice. So if Mike has said that, then we're going to have to do a better job of getting him open. And in a way, like Steph Curry, we're going to have to, go find ways to make it easier for him to get the ball with space and help him get clean looks at the rim. So again, I don't know too much right now, but what I can say is if he said that, then my idea already goes to thinking of Steph Curry. How do we, find ways to get him open with screens and movement that can help him make it easier on him getting to the basket or shooting the ball.
Obviously last year the two teams that got to the finals, OKC and Indiana, had deep rotations. This summer you guys had Jordan and Gershon, and then you also bring in Mike Brown, and Mike Brown was just saying he's not shy about going deep into the rotation. Just how much does that added depth do for this team? And just what's your expectation from JC and Gershon?
I mean, I've played JC for years, and last time also in the World Cup, got to know him a little better as well. And I mean, he's a fierce competitor, and obviously we all know what he could do when he's scoring the basketball. So he's going to be a benefit for us, a huge benefit. And with Gershon, we all seen what he could do. Big stages, he showed up, he played well, and those are two big additions to our team, especially. And I think that our rookies are doing great too. Mo's done a great job when I've seen him, and I'm excited for this team. We have great depth that gives us a chance to feel good about any part of the season, whatever the trials and tribulations, the ups and downs that go on. That we have a team that's fully ready to go regardless of the situation.
During the playoffs, you guys obviously had different points when you had Josh starting, then later on in the end series when you went on the bench. So what are the different benefits to going either way, and for you personally, what does it mean for you sideways way on the court, depending on which way that's going, whether you're at center or you're playing next to Mitchell?
Yeah, I mean, with Josh, I step into my traditional center role. Something I've been known for early in my career, and then recent in my career, I've been playing as a forward too. So, with Mitch, it allows me to kind of tap into that experience and that position that I've found ways to be successful at. So, obviously, just different ways of attacking and different ways we could play our game and be played Knicks basketball. So. Regardless if it's Josh in the game or if it's Mitch in the game, I feel very confident that with either one of them, we have a great chance of winning.
Last one, guys.
Your preference, center or power forward?
My preference is winning. It's the only preference I got.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Where was this say surgeries?
What up?
How was your summer?
It was solid. It was not long enough, but I guess that's not a bad thing.
What was the highlight of your summer?
Highlight of my summer. I don't know. That's a great question. Had some fun vacation. I got to really just spend all summer with the kids, so that was probably the best part. But we're just talking about summer. Damn, we got mess up the mood already. All right, go on. Yeah, let's do it.
You guys made a big change and expectations are still really high.
Mm.
Kind of what do you think of that?
Yeah, obviously, I love Tibbs, and I'm always gonna have love for Tibbs for, the things that he helped me with, and putting me in a position to be successful, to be paid. So, always got love for him, and I hope he's doing well right now. But, obviously we have Mike, and we're extremely excited about what he brings to the table, offensively and defensively. And obviously it's going to be a little bit of a feeling out process, but we're excited. We're excited with what this team has, what this team can be. But, now it's about gelling.
Jalen obviously, play with different spots. How do you think if the plan is to get more off the ball, certainly earlier in the game, how do you think they'll play that with kind of like Steph Curry, catch and shoot?
Yeah, I mean, I think the beauty of what we already kind of talked about with Mike, and that is obviously getting him off the ball and getting other guys involved a little bit more, and finding areas where guys can be at their best. And I think you do that, you allow Jalen freedom to sometimes play catch and shoot, and not have to bring the ball up all the time and kind of get beat up in that kind of way. So what we've got so far from the offense is going to be very collaborative. Everyone's going to be able to make plays, to read, to react, and when you do that, everyone's happy, everyone's in a position to be successful, and have good energy.
You started the season, obviously, the starter and playoff season. Where do you see yourself going through the season? Do you feel like you're a starter?
Yeah, I mean, if I don't start, I'll probably ask for a trade and go somewhere else. But no, I mean, I had the best year of my career last year. But that's in the past. I think I'm a starter in the league. I think I deserve to be a starter in the league. But at the end of the day, it's what's best for the team. And last year I talked about sacrifice the whole time, and kind of being that servant mentality, and being a good steward of my gifts and those kind of things. So I think it would be extremely selfish for me to go out there and demand a start and all that kind of thing. So, whatever Mike wants to do or doesn't want to do, I'm cool with. And, time will tell what that is, but, I'm gonna figure it out how I have to figure it out.
You got a finger procedure over this summer. Is that a major setback for you? Were you out sideline for a little bit?
Yeah, I was out for a little while, and some other stuff. So I'm just trying to get used to it, and then get through the season with it.
You want to explain what some other stuff is?
No, I mean, it's just don't want to go into too much detail, but yeah, obviously, got a procedure on it, and then kind of re-aggravated it, somewhat recently. So probably just rock out with a splint this season and, try to fix it again next summer.
Josh, when Mike talks about when you play faster, it's obviously a huge part of your game.
Mm-hmm.
I know there were points in the last few seasons when you felt like the offense was getting bumped up for whatever reason that night, and you're like, I gotta push more. How is your approach, I guess, changed now, or how's it affected now, and kind of the goal is to play at a faster pace team-wide? Like, are you taking that responsibility, taking the lead in your possession?
No, not really. I think playing fast is going to help us, help us get to another level. When you got guys like Mikal and OG who can play very good off the catch, and getting them into transition and getting them in position where they can attack the basket and play make, and then you got guys obviously like Deuce who can attack the rim and knock down shots. It causes the defense to collapse. It gives Jalen and Cat more space. So the ability to play fast is going to help us a lot. And when you do that, the ball is moving, everyone's happy. Energy is the ball finds energy. And we do that. Obviously, that trickles into all other aspects, making sure defensively we're there and communicating and those kind of things. So I think it's going to help a lot.
Do you expect that split to cause any limitations for you or anything, or are you still figuring it out?
I hope not. I'm still trying to figure it out. Me personally, I hate playing with anything on my hands. I feel like I don't have a good feel for it. So it might take a little getting used to, but that's the best scenario for me right now. And I want to be out there with these guys. I'm gonna do everything I can do to be out there with these guys.
Is it off the table that you want to get surgery sooner, or is it corrected?
No, I mean, I think Derek's probably already ready to strangle me right now. I mean, it's something that's, a lot of people have it. So, I don't think about it too much. I just try to go out there and play how I play, and if I can't play how I play and be aggressive and kind of, have that toughness mentality that I normally play with, and then I gotta figure out something a different path. But right now, the full expectation is just go out there, hoop, this season and help this team be successful. And then at the end of the year, when I got some downtime and now I actually kind of know what's wrong instead of last year just kind of thinking it was one thing and then taking a break and then getting back into basketball and realizing it was worse than I thought. So with that being said, yeah, I'll be good.
Hey Josh, back to the summer fun for a second.
Thank you. Sheesh.
Have you played that fade black?
I couldn't play with my finger, but no, I didn't. I was in the Hamptons quite a bit this off season. I was kind of bummed because I couldn't really golf, but I never played Bethpage. I was looking forward to going to the Ryder Cup this week. Obviously, us going to Abu Dhabi and starting a week early kind of put a wrench into those plans. But I wish one day.
People say it's going to be just bigger this one because it's New York.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've been around the world, you've played. What is so different about New York that this is going to seem like such a huge event and they played it everywhere else?
Yeah, honestly, I just think it's the passion that New York has for sports. Everything is heightened. Everything's better here. With all due respect to other places I played, it's just, New York, it's the Mecca. And when you have people that really wear their heart on their sleeves and they go out there and they're really passionate about, sporting events, their teams, they come to show love, and that energy is what makes you, feel that difference. So, it's just, everything's better in New York.
Last one. Josh, how different do you expect things to look on the court in terms of X and O schematics this season under Mike than what you guys have been accustomed to in previous?
I don't really know, honestly. I think we're gonna have to figure it out. Obviously, we're going to be playing faster. It's going to be a different style. Whenever you have, this is like my 7th coach or whatever it is. So I'm kind of used to the change a little bit. But whenever you have a change of coaching style, you got to get used to that style. You got to get used to hearing a different voice and adapting to that. And I think when we kind of get a feel for Mike and his system, we're really going to enjoy it and really embrace it, and I think everybody will be bought in. But it's going to take a second to kind of figure out everything, figure out where he wants guys to be, where he wants to attack his principles. And I think, like I said, once we fully understand that and embrace it, we'll be good.
Thanks, Josh.
Cool.
Questions?
Yo, what up?
Signing your extension, how important is that to get done, and how happy are you to get that?
Yeah, real excited. Yeah, happy to be back. Be here with everybody and be a part of the organization, and just happy we got it done, and really no issues, honestly.
Okay, what was your reaction to the Tibbs news, and then what was your reaction to Mike around you?
Yeah, man, I think just anybody, being in a situation and losing their job is, I'm a human first always. So just feel for somebody going through that, and it was always tough. And I always appreciated Tibbs here. Great guy and everything. So just always feel for him. And then Mike, just hearing things about him and being around him. He's a great guy and everything, and excited to have him here.
What are your, expectations for the basketball part of having Mike around? Do you expect a big change in how you guys are going to look on the court? What's your?
I think it's the same thing that any coach here is trying to win. I think that's the biggest thing, and just pushing everybody for the main goal and taking it day by day.
Mike said you've been in the gym every summer, sometimes twice a day. Is that just part of your normal kind of summer routine, or is there something specific about this summer, just getting in the gym as much as possible, being around the new coach and the staff? I'm sure all the staff here not too long ago.
Yeah, I feel like I'm always in the gym heavy. But I always feel like it's always some more each year. Always after losing something that you always want, always makes you go to the gym just a little bit harder than usual. So I think that just comes with life. And but yeah, pretty much here.
In between the finish of last season, the disappointment not getting the finals, you guys seem to be one of the favorites this year. You does last year affect those expectations for you and kind of make you guys hungrier?
Getting that close and losing, no, it was not fun at all. I know you can kind of be more grateful and happy that you made that far, but I think our expectations was different. Not being satisfied at all, but I think use that for fuel. Obviously, I think every team that doesn't make it there, and teams that make it there and lose, has it for fuel. But just control your control. Take it day by day, and you can't get to June without going through all these other months. So you just gotta worry about the now and get prepared.
A lot of talk about what Mike's going to do with the offense is play faster, ball movement, maybe Jalen off the ball a little bit more. How do you think that's going to impact you offensively?
I think it's going to impact all of us pretty well. So just playing the right way. Everybody's just hooping. I played against the Sacramento teams when he was there, and how fast it was not fun guarding those guys and running around. So I think it's impact for everybody. I think we all know how to hoop, play the right way, and we all love each other. So just go out there, try to make the right read, and go out and win games.
There's two things I wanted to ask. One was that this is year 2 for you here, and also that you were coming into a system that a lot of guys had been part of already. Now you're kind of starting on the same page with everybody else. How much more up to speed do you feel like you'll feel in year 2 with this team and with the new coach?
I think I'll be good. I think I adjust and learn things pretty well. But yeah, I think just all of us going through the same fight and not trying to, understand this offense and defense, everything we got going on, and it's just, it's new for everybody. So just being there together and everybody learning the same thing and all ask each other questions and all help each other. So I think it's a good thing.
The last thing I wanted to ask you was just, Mike came in immediately. He was like, you know my history. I always try to play 9.5, 10 guys, just to have more depth to the team. You and Josh are obviously really heavy minute guys, OG and Jalen to some extent as well. What sort of difference can that make, and do you feel like it potentially leaves you guys pressure during what is kind of expected to be a long run for you?
No, I think it's good, especially having the guys we have on the team, for our stars and everybody else at the bench, everything. Like, we got a lot of guys that can hoop and play the right way. So, I know if I get subbed out, OG or somebody else, I know the next guy's going to step up and do their thing. So it's a trust thing and understanding the team we have and knowing that not really going to slip much when other guys come in.
Mikal, you seem to have a good relationship with Kevin McCullough Jr. and some of the younger players. Can you talk about what working with them this summer has been like, and if there's anything you've imparted on them that they seem to have really taken away?
Yeah, man. The young dudes, Kev and them, they're hilarious. It kind of makes me think what I was coming out of college. But no, they dope, man. I think just throughout my years in Phoenix, really didn't have rookies that much. So even as years moved on, I was still kind of like the youngest. Now I get to Brooklyn, and I finally got some rookies, and then the situation there wasn't the best, and then ended up getting traded and stuff. So it was tough for me to kind of build as much as I wanted with them, even though I still have a really good relationship with them over there. But just being here now and, last year and, signing extension here and just being more around them, just building way more relationships with them, and just hilarious, man. They great dudes, great kids, and the biggest thing about them is, like, they work hard. So, just seeing how much they've gotten better over the year, is real cool. But yeah, they're all funny as hell. Yeah, for sure. The biggest thing, I think, if I came here and preach how much I want to win and try to take every dollar and make it difficult for, the organization, then I'll just seem like a fraud, and that's not who I am. I want to win bad and whatever it takes. And like I said, I love all the guys here. So why wouldn't I want the next man up that needs some money? Why would I not give them an opportunity to get paid as well? So I think I got a good amount of money. I think a couple of more M's will change my life. So I think it'll be better to help everybody else out.
Is that what you guys and Jalen did it last time? You were kind of thinking of the bigger picture.
Yeah, for sure. And same thing with Jalen. I wasn't. Was I here before he? No, but knowing Jalen and being around him, that's same thing. His mindset is wanting to win bad, and like I said, the M's he takes, and for the future, what his situation gonna look like and what he has now, and do whatever it takes to win, and he cares a lot about his teammates too, and is gonna make sure everybody, I guess, eats in the situation.
A couple more. What were your reasons for the extension? Like, if you have to say I signed the extension because whatever, what would you say are the reasons?
Man, because I love it here. Love it here. Love the fans. Love the culture. Love, the staff and everybody, the front office, everything, teammates. So it's probably the biggest thing, honestly. Throughout last year, I know last year was tough throughout the season and playoffs helped a little bit, but I don't know, man. I think I can appreciate the fans and everybody like that. I think a lot of people thought I might be upset because maybe they was getting on me a little too hard, but I think I was more mad at myself in the situation because everything they want is what I want. So it's not like why y'all getting on me. Some things could be a little too crazy, but that's just life how it is. But I think we all want the same goal. So.
Last one.
Mikal, extension
This off season, spend a lot of time with my dog. I think everybody get on me because I don't travel that much, but there's reasons why. First, I hate traveling a lot, and second, I hate leaving my dog throughout the season. So you get to see me every day, come home after I work out, and so probably just hanging out with him more. Sonny.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.